Good morning, healthcare heroes, and good morning to our Southwest Florida community and anyone who's tuning in this morning. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Nicole Traum, and this is Lee Health's Healthcare Heroes Self-Care Moment. So we've made it to the middle of the week. We've made it to Wednesday, and we are continuing on with our theme of finding balance. And one of the ways that we find balance is really by understanding where we're at physically, but also where we're at emotionally. And I've been talking to a lot of people about how they're feeling drained, how they're feeling kind of wiped out from this because it continues to go on and doesn't look like things are going to get, tremendously better in the next, few weeks. So we want to be able to make sure that we're checking in with ourselves and being really honest with how we're feeling. And one thing that's come up a few times in my talks with friends is that we're feeling this heavy sense of grief, whether it is bringing up other grief that we've had in our lives or just we're grieving what our life once was and not really knowing where we can be. So we're going to start today with a little bit of help for our own grief. So we're going to sit up nice and tall, and you can take one of your hands to your heart, and we're just going to breathe into this space of the heart, allowing yourself to really feel your chest filling up and emptying out. Good. Really feel that space filling up. And then soften your shoulders back, release your back body a little. And then we're going to take our hand right to that place of the heart center, and we're going to make a little rainbow over the heart. So this is a little bit of lymphatic massage, just getting a little bit of flow into this place of the heart. You can continue with your breath into that place. And if you're feeling that heaviness, or maybe it just kind of comes in waves, know that you're not alone. Breathing into that space. Just creating a little bit of awareness in the place of your heart, and not just in the front of the heart. You can start to even bring your awareness to the back of the heart center. Feeling yourself breathing there, just moving the skin, little rainbow movements over your heart center. Breathing deep. Energetically, this place in our body has a lot to do with love, with self-love, with self-acceptance. And when things feel out of balance, it's really hard to get into this place, right? We know that. We feel the heaviness, the burden of it all. Good. And then after you do that, we're just going to start to tap our hands right on the breastbone. Just tap your fingers gently. Still breathing into that space. As we do this, we're activating our thymus gland. And that has a lot to do with how we fight infection, how we fight viruses. It stimulates those T cells, those fighter cells. So just moving into this place, whether it's breathing or massaging or even tapping, we start to stimulate our immune system, and it does give us that sense of well-being. Continue to breathe into that space. And just notice how things start to shift for you. Good. We'll do 2 more breaths here, and know that you can come back. This is something you can do. You can do this while you're driving. You can do this while you're on a phone call, while you're reading. Just letting yourself really check in here. Good. And then just notice how you feel. For me, it does help me to kind of loosen that heaviness, to let go of some of it. So then let's take our arms out and just stretch out nice and big, opening up the heart, squeezing the shoulders back, and turning your head side to side. So we hold on to that heaviness in different ways, and it kind of weighs us down. It throws off our balance. Good. And then come all the way back and just start to roll your shoulders onto your back. Perfect. Feeling your shoulders moving. That's it. And then we'll come in and let's do a little bit of a twist here. So you're going to bring our palms together, press your palms together to start to feel your shoulder blades, that place behind your heart center, start to engage. And then we're gonna inhale to the right and exhale to the left. And I'm willing to wager that this feels tight for most of you. It feels tight for me, and I do this kind of stuff every day. So know that that's normal. And especially moving into the place behind the heart, we're going into the unknown, right? So be gentle, be kind, just moving nice and slow. And every round here brings in new openness, new movement. So just moving nice and slow, side to side. Good. One more time to each side. That's it. Good. And then as you come back out, you can roll your shoulders onto your back. And we're going to step our legs apart now. So bring your legs apart a little bit wider than your chair. And we'll inhale as we sit up, and then exhale, just start to hinge forward. So stretching, into your low back. Inhaling and exhaling as you hinge. Good. Inhaling to come up, and then exhaling as you hinge forward. So we're going to work towards our way towards a nice balanced standing pose. But in order to do that, we have to really warm up our lower body. Continue to breathe into that place of your heart, maybe down into your lungs a little deeper, or maybe even down into your belly. But just let that breath flow. That's it. Good. And then come on up. And I call these the sumo wrestler. So you can hold onto your leg, and you're going to lift one leg up and drop it down, and then the left leg up and drop it down. And just lift and lower. Try to keep your spine nice and tall. And if that feels good, you can bring your arms up and lengthen and just lift and lower. And this one, again, can feel kind of tight. It's the morning. So give yourself some space. Give yourself a couple rounds to really start to feel yourself easing into it. Let's do 2 more to each side. Lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. I'm going to say if you do this one at your office, they might look at you a little funny, but it does feel really, really good. So lift and lower. Last one. Lift and lower. Good. And then keep the knees wide apart. Bring your hands to your knees, and we're just going to make some circles. So you're going to go over to the right, across, and over to the left and back. And if you're sitting forward in your chair, you're going to have a little bit more space to lean back. And that's what I'd like you to do to really feel your belly starting to work. We're going to need that for our balancing poses. That's it. So just reaching around. Noticing how you're feeling here. Maybe even noticing your hips feel a little bit heavier. Good. And then notice your direction will change. So now we'll go over to the left, across, and to the right, and back around. Just really warming up those hips and those legs. Let's go around 3 more times, continuing with your breath. All right, so thinking about the balance of the inhale and the exhale, the amount of movement you have in your life as opposed to the amount of non-movement you have. Like, how long are you sitting? Good. And then come on back, and let's do those sumo wrestler lifts again. So lifting the leg and lifting the leg. If you want, you can bring your arms up, just feeling yourself lifting here. Good. Let's do 2 more to each side. So right and left, sitting tall, right and left. Good. Bring those legs back in, and we'll come on up to standing. So remember, when you come to standing, scoot forward in your chair, get that nose over your toes, and then press down through the legs to come on up. All right. So you can use your chair here, and I'm going to say let's use our either the arms of the chair or the seat of the chair. And we're going to come in. We've done this one before. Oh, I just hit the little thing for my door. And we're going to lift the right leg up and just stretch it up, and then bring it back down. So let's warm up a little bit more. Inhale as you lift, and then exhale as you lower. Make sure there's nothing in your way. Lifting and lowering. Good. And then we'll switch sides. So we're going to lift the left leg, lift it up, and lower it down. Good. Lift and lower. Good. 2 more. That's it. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lift that right leg up, keep it lifted, and just start to turn your toes out and down. Out and down. You can also do this holding on to, bringing your hands onto your desk, okay? So there's another option, just turning those toes out and turning them down. Good. And then hold those toes pointing out. And if you want to balance here, you can bring your hand to your hip, or maybe even bring your arm up. Just take another deep breath here. Press out through your legs, out through the top of your head. Big stretch. Good. And then come all the way out, and we'll switch sides. I'm gonna bring my chair around just because I want to be able to face you guys. All right, so same thing here. We're gonna start to lift and lower that leg a few times. Just lifting and lowering the left leg. Start with your hips square to the chair or the floor or the desk. Good. And then this next time, as you lift your leg, you're gonna keep it lifted and you're just gonna turn your toes out to the right and then back down. So just opening and closing actually out to the left. There we go. Just breathing here, perfect. Let's do 3 more. Toes turn out and down, out and down, good. And then from there, you can stay open and maybe bring your hand to your hip and just stretch. That feels good. You can bring your top arm up. You should still be able to see your fingers in your peripheral line of vision. Good, stretch out in all directions now. We'll take 1 more deep breath. Perfect. And then very slowly come on out. And you can come back and do a little down dog. We've done this one before. So your hands can be on your chair, on the seat, or in the back of the seat. And just walk yourself back and take a nice long stretch. So your feet are underneath your hips are reaching back. And you're stretching out. Just move your hips a little side to side. Perfect. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. You can bend and straighten your legs a little bit. And then come all the way back in. Perfect. As you come back to your seat, you can set yourself back up. Make sure you can sit up nice and tall. And then we'll come back to our breath. So you're going to sit however works best for you. And just kind of notice how that feels. So I like to do that one. That's a really nice energizing pose. You may feel that energy right now. I like that one because you can start to stretch out in all directions. And it's fairly easy. Eventually, you may even get that hand that was on your chair down to the floor. But doing it on the chair is a great way to open the hips and to just feel a little bit more energized, which is just another way that we find balance. Sometimes we feel that heaviness, that tiredness, that overwhelmed kind of feeling. And when we bring in a little more energy, a little more fire, it just helps to get things a little more balanced out. So now as we come back, we're going to come back to our breath. And we've been doing that alternate nostril breath together. So today what we're going to do is we're going to inhale through the right and exhale through the left. We'll do 3 rounds like that. And then we'll go inhale through the left, exhale through the right, 3 rounds of that. And then we'll inhale and exhale for 3 times. So what we're thinking about here as we breathe is we're imagining that breath kind of goes from up here in our head, down through our midline, right, all the way down to the lungs, the belly, maybe all the way down to your hips, and then all the way back up. So it's this big loop. And along our midline here is where we have this energy that kind of stacks up. Maybe you've heard of the chakras. What we're going to do is we're just going to move through those energy points. So it's a nice way to think of just kind of moving that breath down and moving it up. And we'll allow ourselves to just find that clearing, that balancing. So let's breathe together in and out through our nose a few times. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Inhale and exhale. 1 more time before we begin. Inhale and exhale. You're going to close off your left nostril. Inhale through the right. Close off the left. Exhale. Close off the right. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. 1 more. Inhale right. Exhale left. And just come back to a natural breath. Good. And now we're going to close off that right nostril. Inhale through your left. Exhale through the right. Inhaling left. Exhaling right. Last one. Inhaling left. Exhale right. And then coming back here, we'll take a nice long inhale and a nice long exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. One last round. Good, and come back to a more natural breath. If you want, you can come back and just do that little rainbow over your heart. The breath that we just did is a very clearing breath. You may even feel that as you breathe, you can breathe with a little bit more clarity, maybe a little deeper. Just allow yourself to feel what comes up. Breathing into the space of your heart, into any of those places that still feel a little heavy. That's it. And then just bring your hands in front of your heart for a moment and feel that connection of one palm against the other. Let your shoulders come onto your back. Feel yourself as you lengthen. And we honor this practice. We honor the fact that we can connect with what we have and who we are and find balance in that each and every day. And as we close, we bow together. I bow to you for your courageousness. Namaste. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. My name is Nicole Traum, and you've been watching Lee Health's Healthcare Heroes Self-Care Moment. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow at 6:40 a.m. Remember, you can come back to this and watch it after if you want to do this at another time. And also you can share this with your friends. So thanks again, and I'll see you soon. Bye.